What I heard you say is your dorm is different from the auditorium. I disagree. The dorm and the auditorium are the same. We talk about free speech as if we have this right to say whatever we want. And I'm going to state the obvious here, but it's worth remembering. In the Constitution, the Free Speech Amendment protects you from action by the government. It does not protect you from action by private individuals. So when you come to a university that is a private entity, the university absolutely can control speech. If you don't like it, you are free to exit the university, go somewhere else. But in the same way that you would have the right to prevent someone from coming into your dorm room and lecturing on whatever it is that you don't want to hear, the university similarly, because the university owns itself the same way that you own the dorm room, has the right to prevent someone from coming in and speaking. Now, I'm not advocating that, right? I think that's a horrible type, it's antithetical to university to exercise a right like that in that way. But I don't deny that the university has that right. I do think that the university has a responsibility to manage speech. And by that, what I mean is, for example, when I'm lecturing on principles of economics, I don't want a knot of students in the back of the room debating the pros and cons of the Protestant Reformation. I want to be able to manage the speech that's going on. We're there to talk about economics. The difference between managing the speech and restricting the speech is one of time and place. That this is a time and place to talk about this particular thing. There'll be other times and places to talk about other things. I think we get off track when we talk about free speech. And there's some amazing parallels here that I'm just now starting to appreciate between the national debate we have on the Second Amendment and this debate now on the First. And that is, on the Second Amendment, we focus our discussion on guns. But that's really not what we're talking about. That's not our concern. Our concern is killing. The guns are the tool. It's the killing that bothers us. Similarly, with the First Amendment, we talk about speech. That's not really what the point is. The speech is a tool. The object is ideas. The question is, should we be restricting ideas? And I think that's what we do when we create safe spaces. If you don't want to hear what someone is saying, walk away. Stop listening. You don't need a safe space. All you need is a pair of legs. We have safe spaces so that we can help the student flush out of his or her mind these ideas that are uncomfortable. That's not controlling speech. That's controlling ideas. Marketplaces work. Precisely, they work best when they're left alone. There's a bunch of entrepreneurs out there. They have ideas about things. Let them come out with ideas and present them to customers. And customers will be the judge of whether this particular idea is good or not. Ideas that are good, the customers will buy and provide resources to the entrepreneur to provide more of these things in different variations and all that sort of thing. Ideas that are bad, products that are bad, customers won't buy, thereby starving those entrepreneurs of resources, and those entrepreneurs eventually go away. The same dynamic occurs with ideas. Ideas that are compelling will attract, I'll call them customers, listeners, people who engage, and they'll spread these ideas. Ideas that are not compelling won't attract these customers, these people who will engage and listen, and so those ideas will die. And here's the kicker. We don't know ahead of time which of those ideas are good and which aren't. The best way we have to find the good ideas is to allow people to express them, throw them out into the marketplace and see what is compelling. When we restrict ideas, we are doing at a cognitive level the same thing that we would do in a marketplace when we tell people, entrepreneurs, you may not produce any phones that are smaller than this. All of a sudden, there's a whole industry that disappears. It disappears because we have prevented the customers for making the decision as to what is good and what is bad. And instead, we have somehow controlled and made that decision for the customers ahead of time.